there, my name is Amy Moy. I am a certified childbirth doula and childbirth educator. My doula business is called Riverbend Birth Services, and the partnership I have with another fabulous doula named Jennifer Kelly, whose business is Belly to Bliss Birth Services. The partnership that we have is called Sacramento Cornerstone Childbirth. And we are in the middle of a series of live videos where we really just wanted to give back to our community, share some great resources and information that pertains to pregnancy, childbirth, and the postpartum period. And in addition, just offer a guided relaxation. Times are difficult for a lot of us right now due to the pandemic that we're experiencing. And what we know about pregnant people and how their bodies work is that what we get, our babies get when we're growing our babies. And that includes all of the nutrition, hydration, exercise, and hormones, both the positive hormones, the oxytocin, that we really love coursing through your body while you're pregnant and in labor. But the stress hormones can reach baby as well. And during stressful times like this, it's so important to give yourself the gift of taking a break, taking a breather, getting some good fact-based information when there's so much noise out there that really can get into your head and can color your birth experience or your expectations for what your birth will be like. So the guided relaxation that I'm going to be reading to you this evening comes from the 5th chapter in the childbirth education participant workbook that each of our students receives as being a part of our classes. The topic for that chapter is sound. And not so much making sound. We have another chapter for that. And we do recommend that you use your voice in labor in more ways than one. But sound as it pertains to the stories that we tell each other about birth in our families and our friends groups, the sound that comes from the media and the media's depiction of birth and being a parent and what they purport that all looks like. And also the myths that exist about childbirth. And we cover 6 or 7 myths in our class. I want to talk about a couple today, and then we'll get to the guided relaxation. So I'm not going to keep you. I know some of our videos have been a little bit longer. It's such good information, and we just are really enjoying sharing that with our broader birth community. Not just here in Sacramento, but we've had people listening in from all over the world. So it's been really wonderful. So here are a couple of myths that I would like to bust this evening before we get started. So the first one is some people have childbearing hips and some people don't. And the reason why we call BS on this one is, I'm going to get my pelvic model so I can show you. So this is a model of a pelvis, and the pelvis has 2 main openings. So it has an inlet where the baby drops in. This is called the pelvic brim. And it has an outlet where the baby comes out. Okay, so an inlet and an outlet. And when you're looking at someone's body, what you are seeing on the outside is the inlet, the pelvic brim, how wide that space is, plus whatever adipose tissue, fatty tissue is on the outside of the bones, underneath the skin. So it's actually not true that if you are a tiny, tiny person with very narrow hips, that you cannot push a baby out vaginally or through the birth canal. Because I kind of gave it away there by moving the pelvis this way. Your pelvis is not this frozen structure. There's all this connective tissue between the sets of bones that allows the pelvis to open. It opens this way, it can open this way, and really the main space of the pelvis that needs to accommodate the size of your baby, whether you're having a smaller baby or a bigger baby, is the outlet here. And I want to just give you a couple of quick tips. So this structure here, I'll show you in the back, this triangular structure that ends in your tailbone, this is called your sacrum. And your sacrum can help or harm your labor. And when I say harm, I really just mean make it harder for baby to fit through your pelvis, which really at the end of the day just prolongs your labor because baby has more bony structures to navigate to fit through this space. So here's what we really, really harp on about the sacrum. I'll try not to look at you through the pelvis. This sacrum kicks out of the way when you're not on it. So if you are on your sacrum, meaning you're laying flat on a bed, you reduce the amount of space for baby by 20 to 30%. So getting off your sacrum, whether you prefer to birth in bed, even just rolling to one side allows the sacrum to kick out of the way. And not only does that now open up 20 to 30% more space, but your pelvis can open this way as well. I said I wasn't going to look through. I feel like, what is it, romper room? Some of you might be too young to know about romper room, but my generation looking through the mirror. So really what we try to drive home in our classes is to just get off your sacrum if you feel comfortable doing so. Even people who choose a numbing medication like an epidural can still be supported into positions where they're not flattening the sacrum and the sacrum can kick out of the way. Hi, Allison. I just saw that you were enjoying the model. We love it too. This pelvis is actually named Penelope. We named it Penelope the pelvis. So much like you could be on your side, even with an epidural and opening and creating more space and letting that sacrum kick out of the way, I have supported people who have opted for an epidural on hands and knees where they're kneeling. And then again, the sacrum kicks out of the way. And depending on where the baby is in the pelvis, they would either have their knees pointed into each other with their feet out, sort of like knees together, feet out, or they'd have a nice wide stance with their knees, depending on how low baby is. And we talk about that in our class. So that's one thing I really wanted to just bust for you, is that even if you are a tiny person with very, very narrow hips, your body is really not supposed to make a baby that's too big to fit through your body, your pelvis. So just know that there are ways to open up those hips and to get off your sacrum so that it can kick out of the way and create more space for baby. And if you want to learn more about other pushing positions and the benefits of getting off your sacrum, then we'd love to talk to you and have you join one of our classes. All of our classes, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, have been moved to an online format. We usually are here in my home classroom and invite families into our home. Obviously, that's not doable right now. So we are just having the registrations coming in right now from people all over who are seeking childbirth education to prepare for their birth. And we teach a class that is suitable for all families, no matter what structure, identity, sexuality you may be or identify with. All birthing locations, home, freestanding birth center, and hospital births, and all birthing options. So, you know, we're not a regimented, dogmatic program. We're not purporting that, you know, unmedicated is best for everyone, because it's really not. And there are lots of people who, for various reasons, know that they would be interested in using pain medication for coping. So we teach people who want none of the things, we teach people who want all of the things, and everyone feels a part of our classes. So myth number 1. I'm only going to talk about one other myth because it's going to take me a while to explain it. And it's a little bit jarring to see what I'm about to show you, but it's such a widespread myth in the broader birth community, in the media, in the stories that we tell about our birth experiences. And I want to just share with you something about your baby's amazing umbilical cord. So here I have the baby with the cord wrapped around. So the cord could be at birth or even in utero while you're still pregnant. The cord could be wrapped around an arm, right? I'm kind of manipulating baby's arm, but it could be wrapped around an arm, around a leg, around the belly, around the neck. And I want to share some things about the cord for your information. So it looks scary to see a baby emerge from the body with a cord around its neck. So if I could manage comments and, maybe I will ask, there are a couple of people watching. So when you see a baby born with a cord around their neck, what does that make you think of? What are you thinking is happening? And I'll wait just a second in case somebody decides to answer. How about you, Samantha or Catherine? What would you say if a baby was born with a cord around its neck? Well, a lot of people in our classes say, oh my gosh, the baby can't breathe, right? Choking, exactly. Hi, Jessica. Thanks for joining. Absolutely, babies choking, they can't breathe. So I'm about to bust this myth for you. And I want you to just know how actually very normal this is and common. In fact, about 60% of babies are born with the cord around their neck or around a body part, okay? And here's the cool thing. I'm going to take the cord away from the baby's neck just for demonstration purposes. Here's the thing about this cord. So this cord has blood vessels that carry oxygen-rich blood from the pregnant person through the placenta into the cord and into the baby's bloodstream. And that is how your baby breathes while you are pregnant. So the baby is not inhaling using their lungs. You may see on an ultrasound where their mouth is open, but what they're actually doing, in addition to practicing their reflexes and strengthening their muscles, they're also just swallowing amniotic fluid. So they are not taking in air through the amniotic fluid. It's all coming through their oxygen-rich blood in the cord. And this cord has a substance all around it, all around the vessels. It's a really thick, spongy jelly. It's called Wharton's jelly. And it makes it so darn near impossible to compress this to the point that baby is now not receiving oxygen-rich blood, okay? In fact, I used to encapsulate placentas. We're on a break right now. Me and placentas are on a break. But when I would encapsulate, I'd go and pick placentas up from clients, bring them home, process them. I would get cords with a knot all the time, quite regularly, okay? And there would be a knot in it. And the coolest thing, and I would, sort of move it around. I can't do it on this one because it's not a true cord, so this one will actually tighten. But if you Google or look up a YouTube video for a knot in an umbilical cord, there are some midwifery videos out there where the midwife will just run their finger up and down with the cord, and the cord just slips all the way up and all the way down, all the way up and all the way down. never compressing to the point that baby is endangered because they have lack of oxygen. The other thing I want to share with you is if baby is born with a cord around its neck, your care provider is so skilled about noticing that cord, slipping a finger under and unwrapping the baby before the baby has even taken a breath using their lungs. So it takes a minute. So when babies come out and their head emerges, they are still receiving oxygen-rich blood through the placenta, through the umbilical cord, from the placenta through the umbilical cord. So even if your baby's head hangs out before the rest of the body comes out, they are not breathing the ambient air. They're still getting it through their blood. So, it's really once the baby's body comes out and the baby's face hits the cooler air of the room that it goes and takes its first breath and starts to exercise their lungs from that point. So, a cord around the baby's neck or a body part or both is very, very rarely an emergency, okay? There are cord emergencies that happen. They are very rare, but there's this built-in mechanism, this Wharton's jelly, that makes it very, very difficult to compress to the point that baby is not receiving oxygen. So, people tell stories about their birth, and, I've even had clients be told by their care provider, well, thank goodness we had a C-section because the cord was wrapped around baby's neck. Sometimes that can be the cause, right? So if it's a particularly short cord, a short cord can prevent baby from passing through the canal and out into the world. But short cords also are very rare. So in general, our bodies are supposed to make babies that fit through our bodies and can accommodate the length of passage between uterus to the outer world. So I hope that gave you enough information to feel a little bit more comfortable about that visual. Like I said, I know it's scary to see because in our rational brains, we're thinking, oh my gosh, my baby can't breathe, what's going on? But again, just, reassuring yourself that baby hasn't started to use their lungs yet. So there's no way that the baby could be choking until they take those first several breaths. Okay, so I really hope you take that information to heart. I would love to have time to bust all of the myths, but I don't want to keep you for too long. I want to get started with the guided relaxation. So I'm going to get some music going. Hopefully you are seated or laying down in a nice, comfortable position, being supported with lots of pillows. Grab a blanket, lay in bed if you want to, and feel free to come back to these. You can always watch it the first time and make a note of when the guided relaxation starts. And then, forward through all this stuff. Now that you already know this stuff, you don't have to listen to it every time. So I'm going to get some music started. And I'm hoping it's not too loud. All right. So during this relaxation, it's a guided relaxation, but it's also a visualization. So you're going to be visualizing a beam of light traveling through your body as a way to just kind of check in with your major muscle groups and bring some relaxation into those muscle groups by way of your breath, by way of just focused attention. Before we start any relaxation in our class, we always recommend that you take care of your body needs. So make sure you're not hungry, thirsty, or needing to use the bathroom. Turn the ringer off on your phone so you won't be interrupted during this much needed relaxation. When we start our relaxations, we always start with 3 deep diaphragmatic or belly breaths. So if you visualize the air coming in through your nose, all the way down to your belly, holding it for a moment, and then releasing. Some people like to count to 4, 5, 6, 7 while they're focusing on their breath. Other people just find a rhythm. You do what works for you. But as we take these 3 breaths together, I'm going to ask you to focus on relaxing different parts of your body as we get into the relaxation. So take a deep breath in. Breathe out and release your head, neck, shoulders, arms, and hands. Breathe in. And on your out breath, release your chest, mid-back, torso, and belly. Take another deep breath in. Breathe out and release your legs, hips, ankles, and feet. Imagine you are in a room. This room is the embodiment of comfort and safety. The room has the perfect temperature and lighting, and your favorite relaxing music is playing. You are so comfortable and relaxed right where you are. Picture your perfect comfy bed, hammock, or favorite comfy chair that you're in. The room is all yours, and no one is allowed to knock or come in until you want company. So know that you will not be interrupted. This is your time. Imagine a brilliant white light above your head. Picture this light as a beam coming down onto the top of your head and radiating into it. As you breathe, envision that light slowly filling your body, starting with your head, down into your face, your neck, and your shoulders. The brilliant, warm, white light travels down your body, filling every single cell as it moves. Each breath brings more light into your body. This light is life-affirming and calming, filling you with a sense of well-being and safety. All is well and as it should be. Each breath you take brings oxygen filled with this calming, loving light to you and your baby. Imagine the light traveling down your arms to your fingertips. It fills your torso. See your uterus and baby filling up with this light, and you both feel nothing but calm, relaxation, and love. The light now fills your lower body and legs. Light continues to fill your body, ankles, feet, and toes. The light now fills your whole body, your whole being. It overflows and travels out the bottom of your feet and the top of your head. It flows out the sides of your body and your hands. It expands to surround your whole body, enclosing you and your baby in its purity, love, and protection. You are completely relaxed and feel trust, love, and safety. Keep breathing and hold the image of this light for as long as is needed. When you are complete, you can slowly come out of your relaxation, feeling energized and peaceful. So thank you for coming today. Thank you for watching on the replay. I really appreciate your comments. It sounds like Allison had wonderful births. She said she had unmedicated births, one at home and one at the hospital. A friend of hers did so much better with an epidural. Absolutely. We know the value in people taking care of themselves in whatever way works for them. So we bring very, very little bias. We joke sometimes because the only bias we bring into our childbirth classes is a little bit of a bias about having doula support by your side, or in this case in a virtual capacity, as many or most of us are not being permitted into the hospitals and are needing to support in a virtual capacity. But absolutely, I would agree that, unmedicated births are wonderful if that is part of your birth vision. But if you know about yourself that you will need some help coping, we absolutely support all of our students and our clients' decisions and choices in birth. So thanks for joining. Have a wonderful evening. We're going to be doing this on Thursdays at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time here on Facebook. And then Jennifer Kelly is over on Instagram on Sundays at the same time. And she's also sharing lots of great information and doing some guided relaxation work. So please join us on Sunday if you'd like to join us again. You can always watch these on repeat, and we've got a lot of other fun Facebook Lives to go down a rabbit hole too if you have some time on your hands. So take very good care, be well, and we'll see you next time.